Because Anthony Davis, no surprise, is going to remain in the Lakers uniform. So today's little bit of news, Shams from The Athletic, Davis opted out of his $28.7 million player option, re-signing with the Lakers. The reason, this is just an excuse for me to bring up Anthony Davis, because we spent the whole weekend, rightfully so, praising the king, and talking about LeBron James. And we've mentioned Anthony Davis, but I don't know if we've devoted a concentrated conversation to Anthony Davis. And we've joked about it along the way in the early history of the show. What is it, show 24, something like that?
24, that's right.
Yeah, because off camera, and we were in, you can't really call it rehearsal mode. We had like half a rehearsal.
No, it wasn't rehearsal.
But when we were talking on the phone. We were talking on the phone like we always do.
Yeah.
And, you said that you called Anthony Davis a loser, and you've taken it back, and you've since walked it back. But I'm not bringing that up to rub your face in the fact you called it. No, that's actually not what I'm doing. That's actually not what I'm doing.
Okay.
Context matters.
I'm not bringing it up.
Context matters.
As I bring it up.
No, but context matters. Context matters because I'm posing the question to you. If I were talking to somebody who had not called Anthony Davis a loser, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say, Michael Holley called Anthony. No, I'm talking to you, and this is how you saw him going into this postseason.
Yes.
I'm just wondering how you view him now. Now that he's got a championship, and he didn't just get it, he was right there riding shotgun with LeBron, and plenty of times he took the wheel in this series. How do you view Anthony Davis now? He's a Hall of Famer, if you ask me now. He walks away from the game, he's a Hall of Famer. He's probably already a Hall of Famer without the championship. Now he's cemented it. And there's still work to be done. So how do you see him now, and where can he take this thing moving forward, given we've already seen from him at age 27?
It's a great question. There's something, I'm going to take a little bit of what Thomas Dimitrov said and apply it actually to this answer, believe it or not. When he said, and I thought it was very insightful, great interview, by the way, with Thomas. I think one of the things he said that really spoke to me is that how you begin in this business, his business, and it really applies to a lot of us. You begin as a grinder, and you're just trying to make your way, you're trying to stay afloat, you're trying to show that you belong, but nobody ever talks to you about leadership, and you learn that as you start doing it. And so, as I have traveled in my career, and gone through different experiences in my career, I understand more, and this is, Michael, really, in the last 3 or 4 years, I understand the culture of an organization and being in a good situation more than ever. That's why there's no excuse for me calling Anthony Davis a loser about a month and a half ago, because I know better just about being in a bad situation. I didn't want to accept that there was something beyond what I saw on the court with the New Orleans Pelicans. And so I think my flaw up until 3 or 4 years ago is just focus on the field, on the court, on the diamond, and saying, that's it. But it's a much more global thing than that. Anthony Davis got himself out of a bad situation. I don't like the way he did it in real time. I don't like the way he handled it.
Yeah.
But what he was saying was that I got to, I've been here for 7 years. This is not working. Let me get out of here. So I look at him as a very good player, as an elite player. Amazing. He really is. He's an amazing player who got himself to a good situation. And I don't know if you remember this the other day when I said we didn't really elaborate much on it. When I said it's generational, we were talking about that inevitable LeBron versus Jordan thing. When I said Jordan couldn't have done it, what I should have said is Jordan wouldn't have. He wouldn't have done it because that generationally they didn't.
That wasn't the paradigm. That's not the paradigm.
So
that's not how they did business.
So if people say, "Hey, if Michael Jordan teamed up with, if he had teamed up with Magic, they could have won." Neither one of them could have done it because they were still. Rightly or wrongly, I think it's incorrect, but rightly or wrongly, they were still thinking, this is my team. I'm going to carry my team. And players today, whether they be LeBron James or Anthony Davis or Kevin Durant, don't think like that. They don't.
Well, it's the idea of like go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, like, we kind of get away from applying 1980s and early 1990s lenses to what they're doing in the 21st century. It's just a different world.
but even then, we kind of still do it because you're right. I mean, there were plenty of people who had a problem with how Anthony Davis conducted himself on the way out in New Orleans. Like the phrase "means to an end" comes to mind for me because I think about how, you know, it's this rings mentality, this championship mentality that we're probably as if not more obsessed with than the players who actually compete for said championships. And here's what I mean by that, man, because even Kevin Durant, I don't know when it was, because you know sometimes they'll say something months ago, but then it'll pop up on your timeline. But Kevin Durant was on a podcast, I think it might have been JJ Redick's podcast. He was talking about how he earned his rings in Golden State. And he's, since Golden State, he still has people going at him about leaving Oklahoma City to join Golden State, which was the most extreme example of these new dudes, how these new dudes do business. You know what I mean? Right. But really what it comes down to, man, is it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you're Anthony Davis, and I actually like that you called him a loser, because it helps us to illustrate what we're talking about. If you're Anthony Davis, and whether it was injuries, poor supporting cast, poor management, whatever it was, the Western Conference, whatever, or maybe his own shortcomings, whatever the reason was where you only got to the playoffs a few times in 7 years, and you go your career because you want to stick it out and you don't win a championship, then you're like, oh, well, he never won a championship. And you're defined for what you never did. Well, he never won a championship. That's right. And I love Damian Lillard. But if Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum keep that attitude and retire with a championship, are we going to give them, or retire without a championship, excuse me. If they keep the attitude that, no, we're not going to be like the rest of these cats. We're going to do it in Portland, and we're going to see it through. And they retire ringless, are we going to give them props? Be like, yo, he was awesome. And it doesn't matter that he never won a championship. He did it the old-fashioned way. He did it the hard way. Hell no. We rank people, and we look at people through the prism of how many championships they have. So Anthony Davis may not have done it. Who would?
You know who will give him those props? People in Portland.
Barkley?
That's about it.
Oh, people in Portland, yeah. Or old heads.
But you're right. You're right, man.
But it's like, so Anthony Davis changed the narrative around him by getting to LA, and not just getting there, and he didn't just ride LeBron's coattails. Like I said, he was riding shotgun with the best player in the world, was the best player on the team at various stages of the postseason run. Showed out in the finals, very soon will be the best player on the team. And listen, you're talking about a 27-year-old who's already a 4-time first-team All-NBA guy, already a 2-time first-team All-Defense, already a 3-time block champion. I don't know how into numbers you are in general, and I don't know how into player efficiency rating you are in particular. Not a perfect stat, but a pretty telling one. So as you may know, the all-time leader in player efficiency is Michael Jordan at 27.9. LeBron's number 2 at 27.49. Career player efficiency, number 3, is Anthony Davis. Davis at 27.42. So I'm saying, like, where he is right now, what he has left to work with LeBron for however many more years LeBron wants to play, Anthony Davis is not only going to be a fixture or continue to be a fixture for first-team All-NBA, but he has an opportunity now, because of that power move, to move up the rankings and to move up and for people to truly appreciate. He's always been great. And now he starts adding some, there you go, rings to his resume. We're going to start having to have a conversation about Anthony Davis among the all-time greats. Very soon.
Mike,
if we're not already.
All I have to say is I need a drink of water. So I'm going to take a little break. But all I'm going to say is he's a fixture. He's moving up the rankings, and he's a winner. That's my dude, Anthony Davis.
That's my guy.
A winner. I love him.